Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. And if you've been with me since January 2023, you will know that Embracing the Fight is about normalizing the conversation surrounding physical and mental health issues and concerns. Now, why is this important? Think about it like this. Imagine if everyone in the world suffered from something that they couldn't talk about. People deal with things differently. Some people stress out, some people hold it in and develop other diseases. Some people take it out on other people, and some people commit suicide. All these things can happen, right? Imagine if you had a place that you could go where you could talk about these issues and you have people that can tell you that they've done it or they've had it and they've been through it. How encouraging would that be? That is what Embracing the Fight is all about. I try to bring different people in every so often so they can talk about the different things that they're dealing with in their lives to show you that it can be done. And that's why I started the journey off talking about my journey through thyroid cancer. And you notice I say through because I don't claim that I will have it forever or that it will cause me any issues down the road. I'm saying that it is what caused me to give birth to this platform. Now, if you would like to come to Embracing the Fight and share your story, I would absolutely love to have you. So please send me an email to operations@diversitydesign.com, or you can reach out to me on all social media outlets at Embracing the Fight. The only thing that's different is when you go to Instagram, it's Embracing the Fight underscore. Now that I've gotten the business of everything out of the way, let's talk about episode 114, The Power of Love. I know a lot of people that listen, may not know Luther Vandross, but he had a song out that was called The Power of Love. And it talked about, how amazing the power of love is, the different things that it can do when you experience the power of love. So I'm bringing this topic up because I want you all to know that there are people out there that are going through things that don't have a support system. They don't have the power of love. And sometimes a kind gesture by a stranger can change whatever is going on in their life. So let me give you an example. I lately have been getting up early in the morning and I have been going for a walk at sunrise. And each time, I try to like get away from people. I know that sounds really weird, but the reason I'm trying to get away from people is because I'm trying to, hear more from God. So this particular day, which was a couple of days ago, I was walking and there was a lady that was walking her dog. And as she was walking her dog, she just looked like, I don't know, like her world was just about to come crashing down on her. So I stopped, smiled, and I said hello. And she put her hand over her mouth and her hand on her chest, and she was like, hi. And she just mentioned that she had lost her husband, and she was just so lost and didn't know what to do, and all these different things about there's no kindness left, there's no love left in the world. But by me saying hello to a stranger, she said it gave her hope and she smiled and walked off with her dog. So imagine if when you're in your mood or in your moment and you stop for a moment to say hi, or you stop for a moment, really to check on the person that is walking past you. Imagine how you can change their life. That is what the power of love can do. So the next time that you're out, take a look around. See who looks like they're struggling with something, or see if someone is just being, overly quiet, overly standoffish. Because sometimes those people are contemplating their next move, and you could be the thing that changes what it is that they're about to do. Also, if you think about the power of love, you think about when you're riding down the highway and you see those people on the corner that are asking for spare change or they're asking for food or they're saying that they will work for food. the power of love would provide one of those things for those people. Now, you got people out there that's scamming and doing different things like that. But when you give from the heart, it's genuine, and I believe that you'll be blessed for it, regardless of what the person does with it, after it has left your hand or your home, because the intentions that you had for it were good. So back to what I was saying, though. Imagine if someone were to come along and collect all the homeless people and take them to a location and start to train them or give them hope. Because I found that a lot of homeless people actually want to stay homeless. And I know that that sounds strange, like who would want to live outside, but I've had conversations when I work at soup kitchens, or I should say when I volunteered, or when I was just walking through the park and stopped to say hello to a person. They'll tell you that, it's tough living out here in the world. It's tough, not to have anyone to love, or they're on drugs, or there's something that's calling them away from their reality. Because a lot of people that are homeless suffer from mental illness, something that could easily be treated. But because they didn't have the funds, they had to do the best they could with what they had. And that's why they are homeless. And it's always amazing to me because I know when I went to pick up my medication without insurance, the medication would have been like $1,585 for a 1 month supply. With the insurance, it came up to like 581. But then that, like I was talking a couple of weeks ago, there's patient assistance for people who cannot afford to pay for their medication. So you wonder, why is it that some people just say the heck with it and they don't take the medication, or they don't like ask the doctor to see if they can get some free samples or something like that? I'll tell you what it is. It's the lack of the power of love, because there's plenty of people that are probably in their lives, but no one is asking the right questions. No one is saying, hey, grandma, hey, auntie, cousin, you know, what medicines are you taking? And if you can't afford them, let's see what we can do to help. Imagine if everyone had someone who cared enough for them to find out where their struggles are. If you think about it, many of the people that are in the baby boomer and silent generation, they are dealing with technology, for one thing. And when you have to call in and order a prescription, or you have to use your smartphone to scan something and send something, they may not know how to do that. And everybody else, around them, their world is still moving, and they're not thinking about what could potentially be going on with their elders. And the elders feel forgotten. Imagine if the power of love would show up and you say, hey, grandma, grandpa, I'm coming over today. Would you like for me to help you with your prescriptions? Or would you like me to help you sort your mail? Or is there anything that I can do for you to help make your life easier? You have to open the door on certain conversations in order for people to walk in, because a lot of people think that they have to carry these things themselves because they feel like it's a burden to give it to someone else to carry. But again, if we were to give the power of love, people wouldn't look at it as a burden. They would look at it as a service to their elder, an act of love, the power of love. So, another thing that you need to consider when you're thinking about the power of love, imagine either you have kids that are in school, or say you're working, one or the other. Everyone comes in contact with someone every day if you're in either of those scenarios. Imagine if you're that child that's going to school that's being bullied or being picked on for various reasons, but they don't say a word. They just end up low self-esteem, depressed, or worse, they commit suicide. And then on the flip side, you have adults that go to work and they feel marginalized. They feel that they always have to fight in order to get their point across, and it's exhausting. And no one seems to like them. No one seems to see the great person that they are, because it always feels like that this person is fighting. Both of those people, the child and the adult, have pain points that have not been addressed because they have not experienced the power of love. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, these people can have people that love them in their lives. But if you don't sit down and you don't have those conversations, if you don't ask, what's going on, or how's work, how's school, if you don't delve into those things, you might love them, but you're not activating the power of love. Love has power. Love is an action word. I could say all day, that I love you. But then when you need me and I'm not there, my actions don't match my speech. And what does that mean? I might have love for you, but I am not in love with you, and I do not love you enough to take care of you or to carry some things that will make your load lighter. And that's a very, very sad place to be. Also, if you think about it in relationships, some people will stay in a relationship just because they have been there for many, many, many years. There's no love there, but there's the comfort in familiarity. And who wants to start over when you're like, what, 30, 40, 50? You've been with somebody 10, 15, 20 years. You don't want to start over. You've said it yourself. You already know this person's mess and this person's foolishness, and they know your mess and your foolishness. And you're okay with being dissatisfied because you're comfortable. That is not the power of love. The power of love sacrifices. The power of love protects. There's no way that I can say this with a shadow of a doubt, that I would stay with a person that I knew that did not love me. Sure, they might love you and want the best for you, but I'm saying if they're not in love with you, there is a huge difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. You can love someone and want the best for them, but if you're married to them, you can't stand their touch, or you can't stand, looking at them for long periods of time. You don't want to spend time with them, but you love them because you don't want them to be harmed, or you don't want anything bad, to come their way. That's not the power of love. That is the power of comfort, complacency. That does not serve you nor your partner well. Now, I'm not saying go out there and just divorce, whoever you're with. I'm saying do what it takes to activate the power of love in your relationship. Now, if there are things that are causing harm to you physically, mentally, spiritually, I don't advise that you stay. But at the same time, if those things can be worked out between you, your significant other, and the Lord, then by all means, do what it takes to reactivate the power of love. But otherwise, if there is no way that you'll ever fall in love, be in love with, or truly love this person, you're doing both of yourselves a disservice. Now, if cheating is involved, that's even worse, because now you've brought in a third person that isn't getting all of you either. They're only getting a portion of you, and the portion that they're getting is muted and damaged because they know that they're holding on to something they should have let go a long time ago. So activate the power of love. Search your heart. Determine if you really want to be with this person. If you don't, let them go, because there's someone out there for everyone. I know people say, no, it's not possible because people, die single all the time, or different things happen and folks never get married, this, that, and the other. But that doesn't mean there wasn't someone out there for them. That just means they didn't meet them because either A, they had someone who was a placeholder that kept them from meeting the person that they were supposed to meet, or they were not in position or ready for God to bring that person to them. So you can't exercise the power of love if you don't know truly what love is. You know what love truly is? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believed in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. That is love. God exercised the power of love when it comes to us in every aspect. It's up to you to determine whether or not you want to reciprocate this love with and to God. God is jealous, true enough, but he gives us the right to choose. Are you going to choose God today? Or are you going to choose to exercise the true power of love? Because once you start exercising, that love that God is raining down on us and you offer praise and love back to him, the only thing that can happen is that the power of love will grow in your life. Just imagine what it would be like to truly be loved and not have to worry about whether or not, this person is cheating, whether or not they really love you or not. Just think about it for a moment. You come home and you know that no matter what, this person that you are sharing and spending your life with, you both have a mutual respect for one another. You have exercised the power of love together. I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect, but what I am saying, it is going to be work. And both of you are going to be willing to do it. So there's one thing, to get in a relationship with a person, and then you got one person doing 75%, the other one doing 25, and then the one that's doing 25 gets a little salty when they start seeing the other person doing about 60 and they're having to do 40, when the whole time it should be 100. There's no such thing as 50-50. You have to give your all. You don't want to start looking at, the relationship of the person saying, I'll meet you where you are. No, go all the way. That's what the power of love does. Because then you'll see whether or not they'll go all the way for you. Because if they won't, then maybe they're not the one. But hey, that's just me and my thoughts. Because I found out something, the other day. I shouldn't say I found it out because I kind of knew it already about myself. But I was talking to my best friend, and she was telling me after I told her about a session, that I had to help me realize some things, about myself. And she told me the one thing that changed about me was that I started to overthink things after I divorced. And she said in my speech, I constantly say, why didn't I see that? And she had to tell me that anyone coming behind that, she could hear me beating myself up, trying to figure out what this person is doing rather than love them for who they are and where they are. Instead of saying, am I missing something? Are they who they say they are? Are they lying? Are they cheating? Are they gambling? What are they doing? Rather than saying, you know what, this is a different person. I know, I'm not saying that I hold anyone responsible for the things that my ex-husband did. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying my friend noticed that my thought process has changed since then. I don't treat anyone different that I'm dating, that I say to them, oh, well, you do such and such like he did, and I'm going to stop doing. No, it's nothing like that. It's more of, I notice more things now, because before I was just turning a blind eye to everything, saying, oh, it'll just work out. When now, instead of being silent, I ask questions and I express my feelings. That's what I mean. I am exercising the power of love because love is not silent. It will speak up. So today, when you are listening or done listening to this podcast, examine how you exercise the power of love, be it in your home, where you work, where you exercise, where you go for walks. I mean, you can let love out wherever you are. It doesn't have to be just the people that you know. Love is a universal language, and we need to speak it more, especially in uncertain times like these. Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy day to watch episode 114, The Power of Love. And I hope that you find a way to exercise the power of love today. And as always, I want you to have an absolutely amazing day.